to Rogers Reports. I'm your host with the most, Rogers, and it's all about Aston Villa on this channel. So if you do like the Villa, if you support the mighty Villa, leave a like, subscribe down below, notifications on. We're so close to 3,500 subscribers now. I cannot wait to hit that milestone and celebrate it all with the Villa legends on this channel. Now today we are going to be reviewing the Spurs game. I know it happened a little while ago, but I wanted to wait until that Manchester City-Bournemouth game had happened until I'd done my review of this game so that we can tie it all in very nicely with the preview of the Manchester United game that will come out on Friday, I believe, for you guys as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's have a look at the game. Why I think it was one of the best performances we've done, you know, under so much pressure as well. We started a little bit dodgy. We brought it back. What does it mean for the Premier League table? We're going to have a look at that as well now that all the games have been played going in to the final day of the season as well. Let's have a look at the table. As you can see, it sets us up for an absolutely mental final day. Manchester City did manage to get the dub over Bournemouth, who are now 11th. I mean, their season's really fallen apart, to be fair. And then they play Fulham on the final day, but they're on 68 points. We can't catch Arsenal. They've almost secured... Have they secured second? Pretty much. I mean, the goal difference is pretty drastic, and they play Southampton on the final day of the season. So Manchester City ended up on 68 points, and then Newcastle, Chelsea and Villa all on 66. Nottingham Forest on 65, and they play Chelsea on the last day of the season. If either of those two teams, well, actually no, not if either. If Nottingham Forest, well, Chelsea have to win pretty much, right? Let's just, I'm going to make it more simple. Chelsea have to win. A draw will not do for Chelsea if Villa manage to win. Newcastle go to Everton, a good defensive team. They could grind out a draw away from home. You never ever know. Manchester City play Fulham. Fulham have done so much for Aston Villa over the last 6 years. I wouldn't even put it past Fulham to pull something out of the bag and get a cheeky win against Manchester City. There's so much that can happen because of that Spurs game where we did win 2-0 on the day. You can see Spurs all the way down there on 38, Manchester United on 39, and we're going to be talking all about that game very, very soon. Again, I want to wait until the final that's being played today, Europa League final, has been played as to where I think that game might go. Fingers crossed Manchester United win, because then they're just going to all be out on the lash and we can play their kids that are probably still hungover as well and get an easy win on Sunday. But that's where the win has left us in the table. Let's have a look at the game itself. And as you can see, it was pretty fantastic. A 2-0 win, thanks to goals from Ezri Konsa and Boubacar Kamara. Goals coming from not places where you'd think they would. That's Boubacar Kamara's first Premier League goal for Villa as well. I don't know how that's even a thing. I feel like he's been here for like 3-4 years now. Does play CDM, but still, I thought he just scored more than that. I've seen him score live in the Carabao Cup against Palace, I think it was this season, but nonetheless, his first Premier League goal. Thank you very much, because we needed it. Now, the game did start off a little bit cagey, and Spurs actually had some decent chances. Emi Martinez forced into a really good save from Odegaard, a little flip I think it was, in the end after a quick counter-attack. When we settled in, we restricted Spurs to effectively nothing. You can see on the screen, we had 18 shots to their 3, 7 on target to their 1, 68% possession. We were all over them, dominance throughout the game from probably about the 15th minute onwards. 9 corners to their 1. You know what I mean? It was ridiculous, to be fair. Tottenham, again, a team that were resting players, a team that weren't... You could tell some of their players were just playing to not get injured. But still, we had a job to do. And like I say, we shook off the nerves and the cobwebs, I think, early on. Because I even said it, I think I tweeted it out. We looked like we were going to bottle it. We looked so defensive, slow in build-up, etc, etc, etc. But we did manage to turn it around eventually in the 60th minute with Ez getting that goal. But again, some fantastic performances in there. We've done what we need to do. The only thing for me it highlights is, again, just our struggles in front of goal. We should have won this game 4-5-0. Look at those stats. There should have been more goals in this game. But we have to rely on a little flick from a centre-back and then a speculative effort from the edge of the box from a CDM who's never scored in the Premier League before. I feel like we need to put more of a demand and more of a pressure on our front players. Asensio did go really, really close in the first half and he played very, very well this game. But Watkins, although he had an alright game, I need more from them in front of goal, because our goal difference is going to come back to haunt us. It's going to come back to haunt us. If I flick the Premier League table back up, you'll see. If we were just better in front of goal this season, we would have actually been all right. Like, well, our goal difference is 9 at the moment. Chelsea and Newcastle both on 20 and 22. Newcastle have only conceded 3 less goals than us. Chelsea 6 less goals than us. But look at the goals scored. Newcastle 10 more. Chelsea 5 more. That's where the difference is. We needed more in front of goal this season. It is what it is. But let's look at the player ratings for this game. And here we have the starting lineup. I wasn't actually too far off from my predicted lineup, to be fair. If we start in goal with Martinez, a fantastic save from Odegaard. Like I say, it was a counter-attack. I think it was Son going down the left-hand side, cut it back in. Odegaard done like a little flick, and a fantastic save from Emi Martinez. Another clean sheet. I think that makes it 3 clean sheets in the last 4. We're finally starting to click in defence. And Martinez was a big part of that, because that could have easily been a goal. 1-0 down to Spurs in a game that meant so much for Villa. It could have really derailed that game from the start. So very, very happy that he did make that save. Matty Cash, I'll give a 6. I think he was back to the standard Matty Cash. Spurs clearly identified early that a weak point for Villa was going to be down that right-hand side. And the thing that frustrated me with Cash this game, and I'm back on my Cash hate watch, shoot me, you got me. I'm on my hate watch for Matty Cash all the bloody time. But not only was he getting done over the top pretty consistently, all of Spurs' danger, which wasn't a lot, but all of it came down his side of the pitch. And he just wasn't working back. I understand that his position in this team is to get forward, but then he can't cross a ball. He'd done about 5 crosses in the first half. I think 3 of them didn't beat the first man, and the other 2 just went over everyone. So I don't, if you're going to go forward that much and then not track back, because I saw him jogging back, walking back at some points whilst Spurs were attacking down that right-hand side, it draws Kamara out of position because he has to cover that right-back position more. Whereas, you probably want him in the middle to break up some stuff as well. Anyway, Konsa, I'm going to give it an 89. I'm going to give a 9 to. Got the goal, such an important goal. And he was up against it with Matthias Tell and Odegaard, 2 very, very quick players, tricky players on the ball, great with a lot of pace. And Konsa just dealt with them like they weren't even there. Genuinely, this is one of the best games I've seen from Konsa in the last sort of 10-15 games that I can think of. Capped it off with the goal as well. I thought he was absolutely spectacular. Powell, 7, clean sheet, but I didn't really know he was playing, to be honest with you. So, it is what it is. Anyway, Maatsen, 8 down the left-hand side, just offers so much more than Luca Digne. I think Maatsen is probably cementing himself, isn't he, as a solid first choice left-back for Villa next season. And I'm very, very happy about it, because I think the lad is absolutely spectacular. Boubacar Kamara, I'll give a 9 to. Again, this was the Kamara that we love. Good tackling in the middle, breaking up play, passing range was fantastic, and he got the goal. So, of course, he has to get a 9. Onana next to him, I'm going to give an 8. Again, in the last couple of games, Onana has really, really begun to come into his own. A couple of the quick Spurs counter-attacks were stopped because of that man getting back, because he can cover, literally, I know I'm pointing at the screen, but you can imagine where I'm doing. Imagine where Martinez is, all the way to Watkins. Onana can cover that whole distance in literally 4.5 footsteps. It is mental watching him glide across that pitch like a ballerina of central defensive midfield destruction. And I think he's been really, really good. And if he can stay fit, please touch all the wood in the world. If he can stay fit next season, he is going to be a key part of Aston Villa's drive to get Europe for a 4th season in a row, because we've already got it this season confirmed. That's 3 in a row, the 3-peat. Then we move forward. Rodgers, I'm going to have to give a 6. Wasn't really that involved in the game. I don't like it. I don't like him out on the right. And I don't know whether I don't like him out on the right because the support that he has coming from behind him is Matty Cash. Him and Asensio don't seem to be able to work that well together, because Asensio operates in that space that Rodgers wants. I just want Rodgers out on the left-hand side, effectively. Didn't have a bad game, but didn't have a good game. Didn't really know that he was playing, to be honest. Again, it's not like Morgan Rodgers to ghost in a game, and he did this game, and he has been out on the right-hand side. Asensio, I'll give an 8. Fantastic performance. A typical class 3 times Champions League Spanish hero, cult, Real Madrid legend performance. Do you know what I mean? That's the type of performance that Asensio put in. Brilliant. You can just tell that sometimes he is he's just a little bit above everyone else on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? In terms of skill and ability. McGinn, I'll give a 7-2 out on the left-hand side. Typical Guinea performance. Rugged, running players, here, there and everywhere, getting involved, putting his arse in the lap of every Spurs player that he got the opportunity to. But yeah, he's important to this team, isn't he? And then Watkins up front, I'll give a 7. A couple of decent bits of hold-up play in there, just missing the key part, which is that goal. But overall link-up play, hold-up play, really, really good. A typical Ollie Watkins performance. And now that leaves me with a bit of a how do we say, conundrum? I don't know why I've done that like that. But anyways, Kamara or Konsa, which one are we going to give the man of the match to? And I tell you what, his first Premier League goal for the club will up Kamara to the 9.5. He is my man of the match. And there you have it. Aston Villa go into the final day of the season, not only needing to get a win over Manchester United, but needing at least one of 3 other games to go our way. It is going to be an absolutely mental last day of the season, and I cannot wait for it. It is either going to end in absolute joy and adulation, or is it even despair and doom and gloom if we do manage to get Europa League football? The only thing that could make it worse is if we lose and Nottingham Forest win, and then we'll get booted back to the Conference League, which is not ideal. So it could be doom and gloom, to be fair, although we should win the Conference League if we are in it. But we want to get at least Europa League on the last day of the season. There's no reason we shouldn't be able to beat Manchester United. They're terrible in the Premier League. They're going to be coming off of either one of the highest highs and they're all going to be hungover, or the lowest lows, and they're just going to want to get this season over with and get on to next season because they've got nothing, literally nothing to play for. But teams with nothing to play for can be dangerous. We all know that. In the Premier League, nothing is a given. So it's all to play for. It's all to do. And I'll see you guys for the preview on Friday. Up the Villa!